Welcome back, everyone, to the Sunday Spotlight. And tonight we're bringing it to you with a PS1 RPG of late 90s vintage that somehow, some absolute maniac decided to give a complete facelift. Star Ocean Second Story R is a massive update of Tri-Ace's 1998 title. In my opinion, the last good Star Ocean game, and coincidentally one of the best goddamn RPGs ever made. Comes from developer Gemdrops, a relatively small Japanese studio, apparently with Square Enix as the publisher. I probably played through the original probably a half dozen times. It's one of my favorites from that era. There aren't any real plot branches or anything, there's just a ton of content you're not going to see in a single run. Port stuff first though, this is rock solid in terms of modern options. It's everything you'd expect a PC game released in 2003 to have, it has. Special note to some legacy features, like, let's go to the audio setting here. So you've actually, here we go. So you've actually got the original soundtrack, in addition to the re-released arrangements, the Japanese audio tracks. This game actually got a PSP re-release in 2008, 2009, I think, for the US. That was more of a straight port, but that's when they added the voice acting for the dialogue. The UI is completely redone, the controls work fine on a keyboard, and there's a special feature that I'll be demonstrating but not explaining right away. Pay attention to the controls as we go. So, what is Star Ocean? Well, it's an ongoing RPG series that keeps sticking its space-traveling protagonist on fantasy worlds with swords, magic, etc. Basically, it's an isekai series before that was trendy. The later ones got a bit better about actually getting back to space, but they started running into problems after this game and never really got back to what made it good. But that's a complicated subject in itself. The larger point is they're cliched as hell, but there's a brevity and focus to those early games that keeps up the energy and pacing. Let's get started and I'll show you what I mean. Hey, stream streak. Good to have you here, buddy. Anyway, so one cool feature from the start. You select the protagonist and that's your POV character for the game. Claude and Rena, your standard RPG duo. One mostly fights, one mostly heals, no points for guessing which is which. But they do separate at several points, and events play out pretty differently. Now, just looking at their designs, you can kind of tell everything you need to know about their characters, but they do have some fun nuances and details, like the fact that Rena is a bare-knuckle fighter who mixes in offensive magic with her healing stuff. We'll start with Claude, since that explains a bit more of the context going in, but I'll show one of the earlier parts with Rena as well, where their paths diverge. Let's get started. Alright, that'll do.
Space. The realm of infinite possibility.
Yeah, Leon S. Kennedy looking guy. He is a very 90s anime protagonist.
Billions. These dreams,
not in an offensive way, just in a very kind of well-meaning but kind of dopey way.
Though some of these dreams are nightmares.
He's Leon in Resident Evil 2, basically.
A race of sentient beings.
He's a Kevin. Yeah, kinda. Oh, just wait, Cred. Just wait.
Declared war on the Terran Alliance, igniting the flames of ferocious warfare across the galaxy.
There is a twist with that.
SD-342. The battleship Calnus received a commendation for excellence in command for its victory in the battle against Lazonia.
Yeah, I hope you're enjoying all this space war stuff. We're not going to be
SD-346,
dealing with that for like 90% of the game.
The captain of the Calnus and his second in command successfully contained a mysterious virus outbreak on the underdeveloped frontier planet Roke.
Those are the events of the first game.
They also were able to prevent the tyrannical G.A. Revorce's diabolical plan to conquer Earth. Thanks to his achievements, my father was promoted to admiral at the unprecedented young age of 38. I respected him more than anybody else in my life.
Yeah, more on the art style in a minute, but it's a mix of polygons and sprite work going on.
Is among the greatest accomplishments anyone can hope to achieve in this universe. But I am my own man. I'm no puppet. I'm not just the son of Admiral Ronix J. Kinney, hero of the Pan-Galactic Federation. So what am I doing here, of all places?
Oh, they sort of zigzag that. They get more into that in Last Hope, but we won't be dealing with that in this game. Anyway.
Look? Any change from the pre-landing scans?
We're here on our Star Trek Away Team mission, which for some reason the admiral of the ship decided to come down on.
None of the wavelengths are showing any response. The field resembles a magnetic energy field somewhat, but its exact nature is still uncertain at the moment.
So it's possible that it's absorbing all the waves from the sensors.
Yep.
All right.
That's fair,
Try
yeah.
running a spectral analysis on the magnetic
Kirk did
waves
go
the
down on a
field is
damn lot of
emitting.
those. Picard too, really.
Claude, you're a ranking officer now. Use this to protect everyone if something happens.
Okay, we're an ensign. I'm not sure if an ensign is considered an officer. Like, they're an enlisted crew member, but they're not the ones giving orders. I mean, I'll defer to anybody that actually knows how the Navy operates.
What's wrong?
So anyway, yeah, we get a gun
Nervous?
here. Ensign Ricky obviously gets the gun.
No.
Ensign
not
is an
exactly,
officer,
sir.
okay. Fair enough.
Don't tell me you're already quaking in your boots, Claude. It's not the kind of behavior I expect from an ensign.
Lowest rank of officer in the U.S. Navy, fair enough. Also, tuck in that shirt, man. I mean, he catches shit for nepotism, and it's not really his fault, but we could at least try to look
Phase gun
professional.
in battle by pressing the special arts button.
So
Don't be
yeah,
afraid to pull the trigger. It might just save your life.
Not even bothering with the fourth wall there.
No good, Admiral. There's no match with anything in our databases.
They then outrank all enlisted personnel, even those with like
Is that
20
right?
years of experience. Yeah, no kidding.
All right, let's get a closer look at it then.
So anyway, we're here investigating an out-of-place artifact. That's kind of a recurring feature in Star Ocean. That's basically how the space protagonist gets wrapped up in whatever the
What can
actual
this
plot of the
possibly
game is.
be? Just why would anyone build something like this here?
We'll need to find a way into the dome first.
You're right. All crew, spread out and investigate the area. Stay alert, people. Safety is of the utmost priority.
I want you to remember those words. They're going to be very ironic in a minute. Yeah. Space Protag gets shipped back to medieval times to break all the laws of time travel by showing off advanced tech. Yeah, no kidding. So anyway, we've got an interesting style here I'm not completely sold on. Like I mentioned, it's a mix of polygons and sprites. There's actually pretty high amount of detail in the environments. Like, you've got dust here, the grass will actually bend. We can't quite reach it. The grass will actually bend as we run over it. But then you've got the sprite work, which is fairly detailed compared to the originals from 1998. They animate nicely, they're very expressive and distinct, and I honestly still like the character designs. I just think they kind of fit strangely in a 3D environment. It's kind of like if you put Doom sprites in the Quake engine or something. I think my brain just kind of needs time to adjust. Futurama rules, basically. Lecture from Mr. I'm my own grandpa. Screw the timeline. Anyway, this is how we open the thing up.
Dad? Admiral?
I like how everybody's investigating everything except
What
the
is it,
dome.
Claude? Did you find something?
I think this is some type of control device. Maybe it'll open up an entrance into the dome.
Good job, Claude. Just as I expected.
I
How
mean,
does it
don't give me those
Did you
looks.
figure
I'm the
it
one
out?
that actually checked the fucking wall panel. You're over here inspecting the dirt.
Just give me a little more time and I should be able to.
Yeah, this guy's literally a science officer. It should be his job to investigate the weird thing. Why is he calling him a Clyde? Oh, Kren. Give it like a minute. Alright, we got a weird space thing opening up. Good.
Got it. It's opened.
How's it look in there?
I don't see any sensors or security measures at the entrance. Beyond that, I can't say anything until we actually go inside.
So one nice little thing here.
All right, let's proceed inward.
You see
and
those
begin
controls
with the
down at the bottom
investigation.
there. If you hold shift, that speeds up the animation. Well, we just left the cutscene. That'll speed up the animation without skipping the dialogue. Some of these things can be kind of slow while everybody gets into position, so it's a nice little... It's basically a frame skip button. Basically, this thing is really weird, and this thing with the sparks coming out of it appears to be the only working piece of tech besides the actual dome. So, we're going to go take a look at it. How does this device work? I've never seen anything like it. Who created this thing, and for what purpose? We're gonna find out.
Don't be careless, Claude. Wait till we figure out what that thing is before you go near it.
Don't worry. It's nothing special. I'll be fine.
Famous last words.
Stop! Don't go any closer. We still don't know what that device is capable of.
Look, you gotta send Ensign Ricky in sometime to figure out what's actually
Get
going
back
on
here.
here.
Stay away from that thing, Claude. Claude!
How are we supposed to accomplish anything if you're going to be that scared?
Exactly. Just poke this thing. What's the worst that could happen?
Look, there's no danger at all.
Wait for it.
Coordinates 214-368-97781. Opening gate.
Uh-huh.
What?
Of course, it happens to be a portal.
What? No!
Whoops.
He's gone. Claude! Admiral, please don't.
No, it's all my fault.
This, friends, is how you end up as a cautionary tale. Sometime in the future, a dramatized version of this will be a space training video that ends with, "This could happen to you!" You know what? Yeah, it kinda does. Like, this would have been
What happened?
late in the PS1. I'm trying to think, the PS2 came out, I want to say, 2000, 2001. So this would have been fairly late in the life cycle. So they've gotten pretty good at the
Oh, that's right.
amount and variety
I
of
was on
sprite work they
Neokinia.
could do in a 2D game. Y2K, yeah, that sounds about right. Anyway, we are now somewhere far, far away. Oop, oop. Don't skip that just yet. You can see him kicking up the grass by his feet. They integrate the sprites actually kind of nicely in
Where
the
the hell
environment.
am I?
It's more just the detail on the sprite versus the
Dad,
detail in the
where is
environment that's
everyone?
kind of throwing me off.
Hey, I still have my communicator.
But individually, I think they both look great. And it is kind of growing on me. It's taking some getting used to.
It's no good. I can't get a signal. So where am I? Where did I get sent to?
Excellent questions.
Well, I can't just sit around here and do nothing. I need to figure out where I am right away.
I mean, granted, the thing doesn't look like it would have spat out a portal, but this is why you follow protocol. Big hope after this remake is to give Valkyrie Profile the same treatment. Yeah, that'd be great, actually.
Looks of it,
Also, hey, the
this
maid,
might be
welcome to the
some
chat.
Underdeveloped planet. Where could I possibly be? There's someone there. Whoa!
Yep.
Look out! Behind you!
Time to spring into action again. This time for a good purpose. Yeah, that was a great game. I could definitely do with this kind of a re-release. Yes,
I gotta help her.
the heroine's in trouble.
Look out! Here they come!
Alright. So yeah, we have us action combat with a lot of interesting little quirks. For the moment, what matters is that our gun acts as kind of a special move. Doesn't have any MP requirements, so we could just use it to curb stomp anything in our way.
Out of 10.
Which is good, because we don't actually have a regular weapon we could use. Kinda, yeah. Honestly, a good enough
thing I made it in
game.
time.
If the remake is of good enough quality, I honestly don't mind playing it again. Like, Resident Evil 2 is good. I think 3 is where the
I shouldn't have
formula
used my
started
phase gun.
getting a little...
Great. How could I have been so careless?
You could tell they kind of did that in a rush. Like, I liked broadly how it played, but there was a lot of things that was missing from the third game, that the original release, that kind of...
That
I kinda
probably
missed.
violated the Underdeveloped Planet Preservation Pact.
I feel like Phantom Liberty does count. That's basically an expansion pack as far as things go. Anyway, yeah, because we used our gun in front of someone else that may or may not have any idea of space travel, we basically violated space law.
But I had to do it. If I didn't pull the trigger, I couldn't have saved that girl.
Fortunately, space law may not apply out here. We honestly don't know anything about the planet we just got dumped on.
You all right? Oh, that was a close one.
Oops, sorry.
Hey, wait! She ran away from me.
Right. Well, time to look around. Hey, treasure! Man, I know there's a girl to chase after, but hey, treasure! This is at least as important. Yeah, I think that's fair. They did a better job with the characters and gave them stuff to actually do. Yeah, Nemesis itself, I liked some of what it did, but it felt like with the environments having not as much to them, there wasn't as much feeling like it could just appear randomly and surprise you. Like, you had a pretty good idea when it was coming. Anyway, let's go catch up with our co-protagonist.
Oh, good. I was hoping you'd wait for me.
I'm sorry I ran away like that.
Oh, no, that's okay.
It's just that everything happened so quickly. I was really shocked.
Scary, huh?
Yeah, there was some stuff about the original I missed.
yes,
Even if I think on balance
little.
it's still a decent game.
Still, I'm really sorry about all this. You saved me, but I just ran off like that.
But 2 is definitely the superior remake.
Nah, don't worry about it. Besides, you did stop to wait, didn't you?
Oh, I haven't introduced myself. My name is Raina. Raina Lanford.
Oh, and, I'm Claude. Claude C. Kinney. Hi.
I do appreciate that he's kind of an awkward doofus,
Nice
and they
to
don't
meet you, Mr. Kenny.
try to portray him as more competent than he actually
So,
is.
Mr.
He kind of
Kenny,
has to, like,
was there
grow
something
as
you
a
wanted to
person over
ask
the
me
course of the
earlier?
adventure.
Right.
The original
It's nothing
remake
that
is the
important,
best,
really, but-
of my opinion. I really love that game.
Where am I?
Are you a traveler?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, of the 3, that kind of sticks closest to
Where
the
are you
original
from?
gameplay, while still... It's the things it adds complement the gameplay rather than significantly change it. Which is a tricky thing to do with a remake.
From Earth?
Earth? Where is that?
The 4 most dangerous words in a language. Although, it begs the
I
question,
figure she wouldn't know what I'm talking about.
it's awfully convenient that she perfectly understands us. Although there may be
how can I
secrets
put it?
behind that as
It's-
well.
It's really far away from here. Really, really far away. Probably.
I come from the soil. Hey, Ivory, good to see you.
A faraway place? I have never even been off this continent. That's really amazing. Is Earth farther away than L?
Yeah, I've
I
seen pretty good
suppose,
clips of...
yeah.
I've seen a lot about RE4 that does make it look pretty
It
good.
must have been quite a long and
I guess
difficult
because
journey.
RE4 was already kind of actiony to begin with, I'm not sure if the re-release would be that big a difference for me. I do want to give it a try at some point. It's just kind of further down on the priority from the others. Anyway, we have our idyllic stock starting fantasy village.
Mr.
Tripping over my
Kenny,
own
once
tongue
we
there.
cross this bridge, we'll be in Arlia.
Arlia, is that where you live? But, are you sure it's alright if I just barge in?
The gameplay won you over.
Of
Alright,
course
fair
it
enough.
is. Besides, I need to repay you somehow.
Faster weapon
No,
swapping.
please, don't
Nice.
worry about it. I didn't do anything that special.
Yeah, there are definitely things where
You don't have to be
you
so
could improve
modest.
the controls.
It won't be much, just the least I can offer you.
Anyway, let's frame skip here. Hustle on up, you kids. So, yeah. This is actually a pretty good opening shot here. Like, if there's one thing I remember from the original game, and that's definitely holding up here, is just how colorful it is. They really had some really nice, even though you were stuck on this, like, standard medieval fantasy world, they came up with some pretty imaginative
Here we are.
locales and
Welcome
some pretty
to
good artwork.
Arlia.
I haven't breathed air this clean in a long time.
Oh, that's right. There's a Persona 3 remake coming up. That game could use one.
Clean air? Is there such a thing as dirty air?
Yeah, it's sure dirty where I come from, and
Really? I don't think I would like that.
I don't think so either.
It's a
This
cute
is
outfit.
1,000
Like,
times
again,
better.
I think the character designs overall are really, really strong.
Well, there's plenty of clean air here, so breathe as much as you please. I need to run back home for a little bit, Mr. Kenny. Would you mind maybe taking a walk around the village for a little while?
All right,
Sure, no problem.
let's look around.
I'll be right back.
I mean, there's definitely a
It's
lot
probably
in their
not a good
back
idea to get
catalog
too involved with the locals. I better try to find a way.
that would deserve the remake attention first. That I'll freely grant. I do
Maybe
think it's
the
been
villagers
long
will have
enough
something helpful to tell me.
that they could probably do something really nice with it and make it a little more accessible, but it's not like it's that far back. God, when even was that? I don't know. Brain farting on me. It's remembering clearly when stuff happened in the PS2 era is difficult these days. Anyways, we've got our scenic vistas here. 2006, thank you. Yeah, I thought it was kind of mid-2000s. Yeah, the earlier Shin Megami Tensei games definitely could use a bit more attention. Alright. Yes, greetings from Earth. I feel like Persona 3 needs something that puts together the various releases of Persona 3. Like, I think there was enough additions to Persona 3 Portable, in particular the female main character, that you could justify a re-release that integrates them with the way the game worked on the PS2. Or just generally improve that overall for something a little closer to the modern generation. Alright, I already talked to you. But anyway, this being an RPG, obviously we're going to go into people's houses and start looting stuff. Hey, what's your story? Really don't like earthquakes, there've been so many, getting a bit fed up, eh. Alright, blueberries, nice. Blackberries, sweet. I like how JRPGs, and, you know, just console RPGs in general, they kind of randomly choose what the standard healing item is. Like, Tales of games usually have, like, jellies or jam or something. And it's always just something you can buy at the store. Hey! Okay, so this is a nice touch. Anytime you find gear that's an upgrade over what you got, the second you pick it up or buy it, you can automatically equip it. Or you'll get a prompt saying, do you want to equip this thing? There's a lot of nice UI touches in this game I really like. What's that? Something that moves on its own? You mean with symbology? Go ask a symbologist if you want to know more about symbology. So yeah, these people know magic and they know things that magic can do, but they have no understanding of technology. Most of them, anyway. Gels, that's it, thank you. Remake is essentially vanilla Persona 3 with some of the improvements from Fast and Portable, but doesn't have the answer and female protagonist. Ah, God. I mean, you can take or leave the answer stuff. I didn't find it all that interesting, but yeah. The female protagonist, she had a great design, too. Why would you not include that? Tales of Arise progressing nicely. Nice, nice. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about that. Alright. Try to blast them away with my Sword of Light. That's highlighted because it's important. Pay attention. Someone will get P3 PhD on it. I can see that. I'm excited. I wonder what happened. Alright. Enough mucking around the village. Let's go check in on our co-lead here.
So where is he right now?
Well, I told him to look around town for a bit.
Someone talking about me?
Wait a minute, Reina.
Heading out. Alright, have a good one, Kren. Yeah, long story short,
excuse
totally
me.
worth the pickup.
Ah, is something wrong, Mr. Kenny?
No, I was just walking around the village and I wound up here.
Oh, I see. I didn't expect you to be here.
Is this a bad time?
Oh, no, not at all. Mom, this is Mr. Kenny. He's the one who saved me earlier.
Oh my. So he's the one you told me about? Well, hello there, Mr. Kenny. I'm Raina's mother. Just call me Westa.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Raina said that you saved her from a dangerous situation earlier.
Oh, it wasn't anything special at all.
Yeah, I definitely did use a weapon that is light years away from any technology you'd find here or anything like that. Totally normal stuff.
Of course it is.
I'm a totally
It would have been
normal
a
human
disaster
being.
If you hadn't shown up when you did. I told this girl time and again to stay away from the sacred forest, but she never listens to me.
Oh, Mom.
Raina, you should just be glad that you're okay.
He's got a gun from the future.
Anyways, Mr. Kenny, I'm sorry I kept you waiting. I'm done here, so how about I show you around the village?
I mean, I kind of helped myself to everything already,
yes,
but alright,
please.
sure.
All right, see you later, Mom.
Okay, I got it. Have
If you're
fun,
the new
you
player,
two.
pay the male protagonist. Oh god, I completely forgot about
was
that.
nice
They do
meeting you,
that.
ma'am.
That sucks. Yeah. I mean, that's just what
sorry
you do in
about
a
my mother.
JRPG. Or,
She can
I
be
keep
annoying
saying that
sometimes.
because I'm of the mindset when that was a meaningful distinction. These
It
days,
doesn't
not so
bother
much
me.
these days.
My parents are kind of the same way.
But yeah, you're in a role-playing game. You take
Oh,
everything that's
really?
not nailed down.
Yeah.
Then you bust
Like
out a
you wouldn't
crowbar and get the
believe.
stuff that is
You'd be
nailed down.
amazed.
Well, shall we get going?
Alright. Time to actually get introduced to this place. Herbs, huh? Ah! Herbal remedy. Awesome. Can't leave on a journey without him. Rina's a gal with a lot of connections to nature. She knows absolutely about herbal remedies. I'm amazed you're still alive. Me too! Lady, you don't know the half of it. Why doesn't Alan come here anymore? You know, that's a good question. Who's this Alan guy? Is he competition? Oh, he's just a childhood friend of mine. Oh, shit. Alright. Well, we're gonna have to eliminate the competition. It's alright, you know the rules. Taking your boyfriend around town? Please don't misunderstand. He's just a guesser, right? Yeah, I'm literally from space. It's kind of a long story. Actually, it's a very short story. I'm from space, and I touched a weird space thing, and it sent me here. That's really all I know. Arlia is a very, like I said, it's a very typical starting location for a fantasy adventure. Everything's nice and calm and peaceful here, even though there's like cataclysm just outside, and there's bad things happening, monsters running around. We will be getting to that very soon. Anyway... So I want to pay attention. I want to point out we've been gone for maybe about 2 minutes. Look at the spread that Rina's mom has put out here.
Hello.
We've got a whole ass turkey. We've got a pot of stew, like a big plate of bread. Several I assume those are melons of some kind, and I'm not sure what that
Raina,
tray of
I
stuff
wasn't
is, but
expecting you two to
that
be
could be
back so
potatoes,
early.
maybe scalloped
Just in
potatoes or
time,
something.
though. I was
Yeah.
just finishing up everything.
Rank 10 cooking, exactly.
Finishing up? What?
Westa is the best girl in this game that is
Mom,
sadly not available.
What's all this food here for?
Doesn't it look delicious? I put all of my best recipes out on the table for you.
That's not what I mean.
What? Did I do something wrong? I just thought I'd thank Mr. Kenny with a nice meal.
I understand that, but isn't this a little much?
Yeah, I feel like this would have used up basically everything she's got in the
Is it?
storage. It's not like
He's
she's got a
pretty
fridge.
young, so I figured he'd have a big appetite. You are hungry, aren't you, Mr. Kenny?
Actually, I am. Yeah.
See, a real man could put all this away, no problem. So eat as much as you like, all right?
So, let's review. We got pulled into a portal, and we're now on a fantasy world with our blue-haired space elf that can heal, and her mom is a fantastic cook that can lay out a massive spread of stuff in like 2 minutes. This is hitting the jackpot. As far as getting pulled into a space portal goes, this is about as good as outcomes get.
Oh, Mom.
This happens to me. I'm putting all my space knowledge to use in like starting a business. Like, I'll invent whatever toys they haven't figured out yet. Literally make the world's first yo-yo or hula hoop or something. Hell, invent baseball. or like soccer or something, and you're set for life. Hey, Orange, good to see you.
Oh, thank you so much for the meal, but I just can't eat anymore.
Are you okay?
That's a very
You didn't
important
have
point,
to force
Ivory.
it all down, you know.
You will notice that Rena has
I'm
pointed
fine,
ears,
I'm
Westa does
fine.
not.
I've got a cast iron stomach.
Yeah, Connecticut Yankee and King
I'm
Arthur's
sorry
Court,
my
pretty
mother
much.
made so much.
It was all delicious, though. My mother would never be able to do something like that.
Thanks for the compliment. I'm glad you're happy. I'm gonna go downstairs and help my mother clean up. Feel free to rest up here for a bit, alright?
Sure,
Like landing an
that
impressive
sounds good.
theocracy a la Stargate is median. Yeah, like every other episode, at best you'd get a world that was close to decent, but had like
Man,
one or two
full.
awful aspects that completely canceled it out. It was like a Star
Mom.
Trek episode.
I wonder how she's doing. I hope she isn't too worried about me. I've got to find a way to get home.
Right. Yeah, he could have landed in Midgard from Drakengard. Oh
Raina's
god.
taking a while.
Claude wouldn't last 5 minutes in that world. Although, to be fair, basically nobody else does. Alright, that's Rena's room. And it did tell me to stay upstairs. Alright, we'll stay upstairs then.
Ah, hello, ma'am.
How was the meal, Mr. Kenny? I didn't make too much, did I?
Hey, not at all.
Not at all. All of it was wonderful. Thanks for making it.
Really? Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. You're welcome.
Aww.
So you really liked it?
Okay,
I
where's
really
this
did.
going?
Are you 100% sure?
Okay, this is getting awkward. Is there a Mr. Westa in the picture here I should know about?
I'm 100% sure about it.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm opposed, but, you know, I feel like we should, like, explain
well,
this
thank
perfectly.
Goodness. I wouldn't know what to do if it wasn't good enough for the hero.
Oh, we have the wrong kind of misunderstanding here.
Did you just say hero?
Ugh.
Mom, I'm back!
Hey, Ice, good to see you. Yeah, I've seen this porn before.
Raina, oh, no.
What's wrong, Mom? Why are you panicking like that?
No, it's just that I've...
Calm down, Mom. Tell me what's wrong.
Yeah, am I the center of a prophecy?
I said it.
Said what?
Uh-huh.
I said the H word.
What?
You have to
You
tell me, it's
told
against the
him
rules
that?
to lie.
I don't think he understood what I meant.
Look, what's going on here?
Please be calm, everyone. It's all right. He doesn't understand what this is all about either.
It's alright, our hero's an idiot.
Oh, Mr. Kenny.
Like, I wonder how these people would react if I told them how I got here by complete accident.
This
Like,
must be Claude C. Kenny then, yes? Allow me to say, I'm honored to make your acquaintance.
like
My
in the
name is
context of
Regis,
the story,
and I humbly serve this village as its mayor.
Claude is just some dumbass that basically a nepotism hire. He poked the thing and now he's here. He literally doesn't know anything
Good
else.
to meet you, sir.
I believe this is the PSP
Allow
version.
me to thank you profusely for saving our dear Reina's life in the sacred forest.
There is a Japanese audio track that's unique to this version, but the English version is just using the PSP one.
Oh, not at all, sir.
We can do the hero thing, but also Rena's getting a new dad. Everything can turn out just fine here. Seriously.
Speaking of which, Reina has told me that you are, at present, in the midst of a journey.
Oh, well, it's hardly worth calling a journey, really.
So tell me, where is your destination? The Kingdom of Cross? Or perhaps the continent of Lacour?
Well,
A curious traveler indeed. Not only do you not know where you are, but where you are going is also yet unknown.
Is it possible you are a moron, sir?
What are you trying to say, sir?
Mr. Kenny, if you will forgive my rudeness for a moment, I do believe everything you have told us has been a lie.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the last thing Spike Spencer
You
was in.
are
It wasn't too
far from
recent.
an ordinary traveler.
If I'm not a traveler, then what am I?
A visitor from another world. A hero of legend. hidden under the guise of a traveler. In fact, even you will agree that you are the hero of light who has come to fulfill his duty as our savior. Am I wrong?
Okay, Regis, you're very close, but also very far off. I'm gonna walk you through this very slowly.
What? Listen, what would possibly make you think that I...
If it's proof you need,
Oh,
then
right,
let me
right, right. He
share
wasn't
with
that,
you a
wasn't he?
glimpse of our world. It has been told in our history that when the people of Expel are suffering under the threat of impending doom, a hero will appear in garbs of foreign make, and with his sword of light, he will save us all.
So, of course, this village just happens to have a vaguely written prophecy that Claude fits right into.
Your clothes are nothing like what we have, and you carry the sword of light. What more proof do we need?
What are you... I don't have any sword of light.
Of course you do. You used a blinding light to save me earlier.
Should have been at EOE. Yeah, I can see that.
That?
Yeah. He's literally because he's got the
Maybe
laser
he isn't
gun.
the one.
He's got to be.
I think I know why you're all confused. This weapon of mine, it's not a sword of light, although I'll admit that it's something like one, but still, carrying this around doesn't make me any kind of special hero. There's gotta be some kind of mistake.
How can you
There are
say
several
that?
mistakes, including the one that landed us here.
Well, I mean, I'm not a hero. I don't have any kind of power like that. I don't even have any idea what's going on here. How can you expect me to save anyone at all?
Yeah.
You truly have no idea? You really don't know anything about the sorcery globe or the cataclysms?
We're not talking about something that happens in the village here. We're talking about the cataclysms that have affected the entire world.
Yeah, I buy batteries for this
It
Space
seems
Wal
that you do not
Walgreens.
really know what we are
There's a
talking
Walmart
about.
there.
Please allow me to explain. It all began 3 months ago.
Alright. So we're gonna get kind of the broad strokes plot of what's been happening outside the village.
On another continent, northwest of this village, there is a kingdom by the name of El. One fateful day, a meteor crashed upon Aluria, a town located within El's territory. At first, people saw it as merely a rare and remarkable celestial event.
This is my
But
boomstick.
before long, a
God, if
cataclysm
only.
took
We could use a space shotgun in this game. Maybe your hero will be the
Great
next one
hordes
that might
of
people that actually get
monsters
stranded
suddenly
here.
appeared in the once peaceful nation, and the havoc they spread devastated the kingdom of El. There has never been anything like this before in our world. Not until the arrival of that meteor. It only stands to reason that the two events are related to each other. The meteor came to be called the Sorcery Globe, a stone of pure demonic evil.
Okay, so basically, evil space
No
meteor
matter how
landed,
you
monsters
look
are
at it,
appearing, nobody really
that
knows anything more
stone
than that.
Must be the
Star
reason
Ocean
for
Army
the
of Darkness,
disasters
pretty
that have
much.
befallen the world. And now, just as the sorcery globe fell upon our heads one day, so you have also appeared out of thin air. If that stone is the source of the chaos, then we believe that only you can cut through the chaos and save us.
But I'm just a...
I mean, I appreciate that you're
The
desperate, but
cataclysms are still ongoing as we
you
speak.
could have a few
Strings of
more.
earthquakes like nothing recorded before.
I feel like you could have a
Docile
few more
animals
requirements in
turning
your
into fearsome
hero
monsters.
description.
It will not be long before disaster befalls this humble village too.
But I'm not anyone special like your story said. How am I supposed to deal with some kind of magic meteorite?
I mean, bear in mind, the teleporter thing was a malfunction that landed us here, so its intended design is to transport
If
people.
you are not, then where did you come from? And where are you going?
So surely this has happened at some point.
That's... I don't know how to explain it. And even if I did, you wouldn't understand
Man
it.
up and demand
The
West
only
as
thing
your
I can tell you is
reward.
that
God,
I'm here
if
because
only.
of an accident, and not because I wanted to be here.
I do
just
respect
wanna
that
go
he's
back
not
to where I
trying
came
to
from.
put
That's
on
all.
airs here.
You must have your reasons, but you must let us know more before we can make sense of this.
Man, I'm telling you everything that would make sense to you. Everything else would kind of blow your mind.
I know, but that's all I can tell you.
Very well. If you insist on it, then I am sure there is at least some truth to it. We will have to accept that you are not the hero of light after all.
Yeah, seriously, if you can, like, get me
How can
to
this be?
somewhere where I can get a signal, we can solve this.
I'm sorry. This is probably not what you all wanted to hear.
I mean, you want a sword of light, we got a pretty fucking big one on the Calnus.
Not at all. It is our own fault forcing you to be someone you are not in the first place.
I'm sorry about this. Reyna!
You should probably leave her be for now. She believed with all her heart that you were the hero we needed. I'm sure she will be over it soon enough.
Yeah, this is the part of the game where we pretend the UPPP actually
Reyna.
There
matters.
is one thing
Said
I
you
would
for
like
sure.
to ask of you, Mr. Kenny. Please, if you can, try to avoid acting in a way that would confuse others. I am, of course,
I do think the sprites
referring
hold
to
up better the
Sword
more
of
I see
Light.
them.
But if you could, I ask you to be prudent with your behavior in general as well.
Ah,
As
hey,
I
Kirby.
explained to you, things have been unsettled ever since the sorcery globe landed. People are anxious and uncomfortable. To have someone who matches the description of our legends suddenly appear in these circumstances, well, hopefully you can understand.
Yeah, Twitch has been kind of
why
weird like that
people
lately.
Like Reyna were holding out so much hope for you. So I do ask you to be mindful not to instill that hope into people. Please, that would be easier for everyone.
So, yeah, this will be the second time we get some very sage advice from an old man, and like the first time, we're going to disregard
Yes,
it as
Mayor.
soon as it's
I'll try my
convenient.
best.
Well then, on that note, Mr. Kenny, what's your next order of
Oh,
business?
drink, alright.
I wish I knew. I thought maybe I would try to find something that'll get me back home, but...
In that case, why don't you stay here in our village for a while? You can stay in my house for as long as you like. Perhaps you'll be able to find out something useful while you're here.
I doubt that very much, but I appreciate the offer.
Oh, I couldn't impose like that.
Not at all. If anyone was imposing around here, it was...
Well, in that case, I will accept your offer then.
Alright, anyway... We're going to shift gears a little bit and jump over some plot. This section kind of drags as they kind of repeat the same points. Claude is hopelessly lost as high-tech stuff causes a misunderstanding.
Well,
So, we'll get back to proper gameplay here. We're going to jump ahead. So this is a little bit further along. We left the village behind us and we're trying to gather information at the neighboring town. Understandably, we're not going to get very far. They're not going to know much more about what's going on than we do. Yeah, machinery, I'm sorry, man, but I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, the villagers take it reasonably well. The mayor sets him up as best he can, and send him off with a thin hope that he'll find a way back home somewhere else. This is a mining town, and we don't know it yet, but things are about to pick up. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, some guy found a mysterious stone in the mines. Turned out this stone is worth a good 50,000 fall. Man, would I'd pay to get a glimpse of that stone. But there's rumors going around that say Alan, you may have remember Rena mentioning him, the mayor's son, took that stone away from him. Alright, what else is going on? Alan used to visit Arlia almost every day just to see Rena, but now I hear that he spends all his time in his room polishing some bizarre stone. Think he's given up on Rena? I wouldn't bet my last shilling on it. Some carpenter from Arlia has been working on the mayor's house. He's supposed to be renovating the house, but I don't see anything different. What part of the house do you think he's renovating? Foreshadowing! But again, I really do like the improvements they've made to the UI here. We can compare stuff before we buy it. If we do this, we can buy things and make one big purchase, and then equip it all at once. That is an improvement. We'll take that as well. Brass Knuckles, Twins Fury, Longsword. We already have a Longsword. We are good. There's just a lot of smart decisions that remove a lot of the original game's hassle. Like, for the most part, I think they do a good job with the updates in keeping the content of the game intact, while simplifying the elements of managing your party and navigation. How many cute girls do you get to collect in this game? 6. Yeah, more on that in a second. Well, in a few minutes, but This game has a really large party roster, and they handle it in a very interesting way. But anyway, we haven't found anything of use here, so let's just follow the objective marker. But yeah, there's a lot to unpack in terms of actual controls and party management and such, but this game is not wasting your time. Alright, so yeah. Mayor's out, nothing we can do here. Yeah, they added one with the PSP re-release. Welch, I believe, is kind of a recurring mascot of the series. That's it, yeah. She's like the Sid.
Well, shoot. This planet's even more backwards than I expected. I can't find any leads anywhere. Nothing's popping up on my communicator either. Oh well. Guess I'll go back to Arlia and figure out what to do next.
Right. I mean, you know, you could try the next town over and see if there's anything else there, but obviously there is not. We're stuck on this planet, we're just gonna have to make the best of it. Anyway, let's get to the world map, and we'll show a few other things off here. So yeah, speaking of hassle-free, look at this! Fast travel! We can instantly get back to not only where we've been, but specific locations in town, and even specific dungeons. So yeah, you can pop up. We're gated by a cutscene at the moment, but you can drop off to individual locations within the town. This game lets you get around really quickly to areas you've already been. It's really a nice update. Anyway, let's head back and let's see what's been going on.
What's everyone out here for?
Ah, Mr. Kenny,
Convenience in a
Reyna's
JRPG?
trouble.
Preposterous.
Reyna? What happened to her?
Mr. Kenny, do you know about the son of the mayor from the next town over?
Oh yeah, I was just hearing about him. He got a shiny new rock and he went nuts.
Yes, a little.
Then I'll cut right to the chase. Alan has taken Reyna away by force.
Taken her away? Where?
I'm afraid to say this, but I believe he took her back to his mansion. He's one of Reyna's most overzealous suitors. I never thought he'd be the sort of man who would take things this far, however.
Well, what are you standing here for? We've got to help her.
I'm afraid things aren't that simple. Alan's the son of the mayor. He's one of the most powerful people in his hometown.
In typical
We could
RPG
face
fashion, we're going
retaliation
to
in
belabor
one
the
form or
point here,
another.
but...
Not that I accuse the mayor of being such a base individual, of course. I'm merely saying that the possibility of such a thing is much greater than zero.
But long story short, nobody in the village is going to be able to step up, so it's got to fall to the guy who's got the ray gun from space. Yeah, revolution time.
Threw his money at all the local ruffians he could find.
And you know, it's not like he's
His gang all look tremendous.
like he's the son of a mayor. Okay, that gives him some leeway here.
We would have no chance against them.
But, you know, a big
But
kingdom
still.
with a big army is like maybe 10 minutes away on foot.
Something like this has never happened
So there's a
before.
bigger, there are much bigger
At a
fish out
loss
there,
as
and
to
they're
what
very
we
close
could
by.
possibly
So it's
do.
kind of funny that he can
Oh,
just
Reyna,
hire a few guards, and this is
my
what he does with
Reyna.
his time and money.
Then I'll go save her. Since I'm not from this village, my actions shouldn't have any effect on the rest of you. I'm just a random nobody who decided that Reyna could use some of my help.
Ironclad logic.
But Mr. Kenny, it would be too dangerous to try and take them on by yourself.
And that allows him
I
to
can
kidnap
and I
people.
will.
Yeah.
I have my sword of light, remember?
So
Just
yeah,
wait for me,
the
all
thing
right?
we were explicitly
Don't
told
worry.
not to use, we
Mr.
will
Kenny.
be using.
Please save her. I need Reyna back.
Some interesting detail.
I
We
know.
still have
I
the
promise
phase
I'll get her
gun
back to you.
as a technique we can use in combat, right up until a certain plot sequence that's coming up very soon. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of places we can use it, like to power level and such. Although, you'll see here I'm level 11. There was a particularly dangerous critter back in the Sacred Forest that you aren't really meant to fight right now, but if you play very carefully, you can kill it, and that basically over-levels you for the sequence here. Unfortunately, only Claude gets to do this before the sequence that's coming up, but more on that when we get there. One other very nice change, however, though. No random encounters. The original and the PSP re-release both still had random encounters, but here we're doing more of a Tails thing where we got these little puffs of smoke we run into.
Be careful.
So, no forced fighting you have to do. It's all depending on whether you can actually avoid your targets. And they do some interesting things with the enemy population as well. Encounters can kind of link, and you fight them one right after the other for bonuses and such. Honestly, I like the new arrangements. The original soundtrack was very, very strong, so it would have been hard to top, but I feel like they do a nice update on it. Anyway, trying to kick in the door and save the day, because that's what you do when your space girlfriend's in trouble. Or your space daughter of the woman who you want to make your space girlfriend.
Damn it, it's locked. Guess I'm blasting my way through.
Although I assume they're not from space. Or at least not Westa. Rena, as you say, Ivory, is obviously adopted.
Sweet. Huh? Crap, my phase gun's almost out of energy. I'll need to lay off it for a while.
I want to point
no
out,
turning back now.
This is potentially the second time he's used this. Once to defend Reyna. Okay, that was probably more like 3 or 4 shots. And then this right here, so maybe 4 shots total. Now it's out of power.
Whoa!
Just
what was that?
top-of-the-line hardware they're issuing ensigns in the Federation.
Sword of light.
Yeah, special art phase gun disabled. So now we're down to just using the sword we got. Okay. Now, we see how it works with Claude, but how does that scene go when we play Rena? Let's find out. Like, yeah, a conventional, like, gunpowder-based firearm would at least get 7 rounds in it. But anyway, now we're playing this as Rena. This is
Rena.
after Claude has
You're
left.
a sight for sore eyes. How have things been?
Rena went to the Sacred Forest to have a big sad. We found out, obviously, that she's not from here. We got a little bit more of her backstory. There's a lot more to that, obviously, that unfolds later. But now she has slightly more immediate problems.
Good.
Oh yeah,
Well,
you definitely
great.
get way better sword arts over the course of the game. Anyway, Alan here is just having a normal one. Oops, sorry, I'm gonna scroll down. I got my notes here.
I've got good news for you,
It's
Rena.
nice that they have
I'm
the,
finally ready.
you can bring up the log and review dialogue, though. More games need to do that.
Ready? For what?
Claude's the kind of guy who puts it on the charger for a few minutes and says, good enough, got stuff to do.
Finally been set. Or should I say, our wedding ceremony is ready.
Huh? What are you saying, Alan?
I like to imagine they were just hiding off in the bushes, waiting.
I don't know what you're talking about, Alan.
One guy's like, the shit itches,
I'm
man.
not getting married to you.
You'll change your tune soon enough, Reyna. Once you witness my greatness, my power.
Alan is not happy
I'm not
about being
changing
childhood
anything.
friend zoned,
What
clearly.
happened to you, Alan?
Can't you feel it? The power that's pouring out of my body, even as we speak.
I also like he's not actually demonstrating any of this.
What happened to you?
Yeah, did you find a demon seed? Once you see his pet rock.
Whatever. Take her.
Let me go!
Fret not, my dear. Soon you won't be able to live without me. The stone has told me so.
Uh-huh. I don't know, dude. I've heard better villain laughs.
What the?
I mean, I know you're just getting started out in this, but come on.
Get Regis! Get Westa!
Move out of my way, please. I will not be kind to interlopers.
Set that on auto while I take a sip here.
Let Reyna go.
Again, fantastic controls in UI. Even in dialogue, it's just really, really nice.
I will say this one last time. Get out of my way, or I will make sure everyone here regrets it dearly.
So yeah, as you can see, we got a pretty big divergence in what happens with Claude and Reyna. But
Why are you doing this, Alan?
pay close attention to what happens next.
This is terrible. And what you did to my mother.
Cool off in here for a while. I'll come back for you later. And don't even think about trying to escape.
I've got to get out of here.
Not even a second later, we're going to break ourselves out of this. And we're not even really breaking out of here. The door is wide open. Dude didn't even lock it. Again, we're dealing with some very, like, C-list villainy at best. Alright. Rain, I'm deeply sorry for what happened. It was Master Allen who took you here, wasn't it? I wish there was something I could do to help. Unfortunately, Master Allen is the only key to the house. There's nothing I could do to help you escape. So yeah, front door is locked, naturally. Robin blind. This is a pincer assault, not a rescue mission. Exactly! So yeah, basically, while Claude's busting in here to save us, we're going to save ourselves, which I kind of like this. Did I mention that her weapon of choice is brass knuckles? Like, she's basically going to crack her knuckles and then crack some skulls to get out of a jam here. Yeah, a window. If only we had a way of smashing one open. Anyway, we're going to find the very obvious secret way out of here. Alright. So yeah, you remember they had a carpenter who was working on some secret stuff here in the house? Now we know. You're Alan, a spine breaker, a Kinniku buster.
I had no idea a tunnel like this exists under the mansion.
Yeah, she's still primarily a healer, but she does get a good spread of offensive magic, and we will be controlling her through this sequence, and she'll be just straight up punching stuff. Yeah, I could break the mayor's son in half.
Why are you here?
That's what I was gonna ask you. Oh, you're hurt.
I'll be fine. But what are you doing here, Reina?
I was taken here by Alan. He was going on about a wedding in some kind of altar.
I see. Well, Alan had me build this bizarre room inside the Salva mines for him. Guess now I know what the altar's for, I'm afraid.
Uh-huh.
Something's wrong with that boy. He's got this stone, and every time he looks at it, he cracks this smile that makes him look like a madman. I was frankly too scared to go on. But when I tried to escape, this happened to me. Reina, if you're the one he's after, you better get out of here fast.
Oh, no. We're solving this problem at the source.
I'll be all right. I'll leave the mansion once I've rested up a bit.
With
you
what?
Don't have that kind of luxury,
He's got
Reina.
the key.
But
This
I mean, you know,
mansion
we
is
could,
connected to the
between the
Salva
two
mines
of
on
us,
the
surely
inside.
we could break the door
You might
open.
be able to find your way back to town through there.
In fact, one
Now
of
get
Rena's
moving.
early spells is literally just dropping a giant weight on our targets. Presumably, she could just fling it at the door and get herself out of here. But no, we're going to be doing this the hard way. Anyway. Almost figured out how to wave dash in Cyberpunk. Nice!
we got enemies.
Alright. So yeah, that's just the bonus gauge. Basically, the better you do over a long streak without getting, you know, without failing a perfect counter, or someone being incapacitated, or getting back attacked, you get bonuses that apply to the entire party. So yeah. She's not especially meant for melee combat, but everything around here is fairly easy, and she levels up fairly quickly.
Ooh, great.
Nice and easy. So she can effortlessly handle this dungeon by herself. You can outrun sports cars. Nice!
We better be careful.
Let's try some magic on this guy.
Crush.
Nice! Ow. Magic is tricky in this game because of the casting time. It's very good at long range, but most of your casters are pretty squishy in melee combat. Rain is kind of the exception there. There are skills you can learn that will increase the casting time, and, you know, later spells will be a lot more effective and be worth the hassle. But it is something to keep in mind, because very often you can get in close with a melee character and just stun-lock enemies to victory. Time for a pun, huh? Hang on a second. I'll see if I can think of something. Alright. But anyway, the dungeons continue to highlight this game's strength, and that, again, no random encounters means you don't have to worry about backtracking to get chests, or, you know, and having to fight through the same waves of bad guys over and over. You get in and out of dungeons pretty quickly. Everything is very visible, very obviously labeled. It's a very fast-moving game once you get past the dialogue, which is regrettably there's kind of a lot to shoot through. And I'm not really calling that a knock against the game. Honestly, I think overall the actual story and characters are reasonably engaging for the genre, but there's a lot of scenes to chew through in between the gameplay bits. But I think they do right in terms of the remake, and in terms of how the game actually plays, quickly getting you to the meat and potatoes of exploring dungeons, and making that relatively smooth and unobtrusive. We gotta get the treasure in here. Ah, there's one. You might say, what's yours is now mine. Haha! Anyway, so we got a area over here we can't go through yet. One of the characters we can possibly recruit will take us back there, however. Oh, thank you, Pat. Remake for SO1 is still only on Switch. Yeah, I'm hoping they bring the other remake to Steam as well. Because I'm very happy with how this came out. And I do think Star Ocean 1 is still a very good game in itself. 2 is the one that got most of the attention, however. I'm not sure the first one actually got a US release until the PSP version. I could be mistaken. That checkpoint there helps restore us. Get head pat from streamer regime. That'll be tricky to work out. I'll have to see what I can do. Someday, however, Ivory. Someday. But yeah, 2, I believe, was the first entry to actually make it to the US. And here we find out the altar is basically a BDSM dungeon.
Ah, my sweet bride. So wonderful of you to make it to our little wedding.
Yeah, cool altar, bro. Yeah, totally not for human sacrifice or anything. And of course, we're gonna get grabbed by these guys.
Reina, my dear. You should know by now that you can't escape from me.
We'll get even, don't worry.
What is wrong with you? You weren't like this before.
No, I wasn't. I've changed. And I have the stone to thank for that.
Again, I like to imagine the guards were just waiting back there for their cue.
That's a trifle matter not worth
and they're there for like hours going, is it now?
We begin the
no.
ceremony?
Is it now? No. Should we try and stop her before she goes in? Nah, boss has a plan. Wait for the signal. But she's right here. Wait for the signal.
Enough. So you're out. Let Reina go. Do you have any idea what you're doing?
Yeah, space rock. Great, I'm gonna eat it.
We are in the middle of a holy ceremony. In just a moment, we will be together as one. I would appreciate it if you would show some respect. Now then, my Reina.
No! Mr. Kenny, help me!
Stop it! This isn't anything holy! You can't force someone into marriage like this!
Force? I think you're a tad mistaken here. We are in love with each other. Love with each other. Love!
Well, I think the VA is kind of hit or miss. I think the main characters are generally well done, but I think they genuinely do have some decent direction here. Like, you can kind of tell he's being told specifically what's going on, and he's kind of struggling with the thing's control over him. It's not what I'm going to call... It's not what I'm going to call, like, top-notch voice acting, but I think it's above standard for the time. Yeah, he's morbing.
Damn it!
Just went fast enough in Cyberpunk Wave Dash. I ran into a signpost and took fatal fall damage. Awesome!
I'm not gonna lose.
Look out! Here they come!
Alright! Now we're gonna tag team and beat the shit out of this guy. Fuck him up! Oh, shit. Ah! Alright, he did KO us, unfortunately. Alright, fair play. I was not expecting that. However, you can very easily retry where you fail. You even get time to redo your equipment, spend any ability points you have, and just jump right back in. Now, Here's an interesting point here. Because we picked Reyna, Claude is only level 1. The same would apply if we played as Claude, Reyna would only be level 1. So it's actually kind of dangerous, and he can one-shot the character you're not playing as. So let's get back in there and let's see if we can do a little better.
This is bad.
Alright.
No.
Yeah, you can see here Claude just kind of got stomped. So we're just going to have to do this ourselves. Hey, oh.
I won't lose like this.
Ah, shit! Ow! I probably should have leveled up a little bit more. Ah, well. We can do this.
No.
Ah! Yeah, see, spellcasting early on is very D&D level 1 wizard stuff. You're going to be hiding behind your meat shield for most of it, and honestly, you're better off just avoiding and probably using items to heal. Yeah, see, the problem is there's not a lot of respect for vertical movement with spell targeting. If it doesn't automatically seek the target out, it's very likely to miss if they move up and down. So you need to pay attention to what planes your spell works on. Actually, let me see if I can get behind him. Oh. Okay, Claude, you gotta last more than a minute here, man. Jesus Christ. Okay, this is actually fairly challenging. This is default difficulty, yeah. See, this is the problem if you have one character leveled up but not the other. Let's see if we can stun lock him here. Yes, here we go. So yeah, if you guard break the enemy, they get stunned until their guard recharges, and then you can fuck them up. There we go. Atta girl. Alright.
Excellent.
Of course, Claude didn't level up from that, but whatever. A for effort, son.
Reyna, are you alright?
Yeah.
What happened to this guy, Reyna?
No match for Reyna's massive balls.
I don't know.
I do like that her
Ever
default
since he
spell
came
is
to
basically
Arlia,
just
it's
drawing
like
a
he was
giant
possessed
stone
by
ball on the
But
enemy.
people don't just turn into this kind of monster. What's going on here?
Alan.
Thanks for
You were
briefly
such a
giving
good
him something
person,
else
too.
to punch, Claude. Yeah, he did great.
Reyna.
Why did this happen?
10 out of 10 meat shielding.
Alan!
He's still breathing.
Alright. Fortunately, she can heal in cutscenes as well.
Where am I? Huh? Reyna, why are you here?
She's pretty much the brains of this operation, and Claude becomes kind of a tag-along dude that follows what she does.
What do you mean? Oh, my head's spinning. I feel like I've been stuck in a dream for days.
I guess that stone was what caused all this trouble. Once it's gone, that was enough to turn him back to normal.
I'm so happy for you.
Let's go back to the mansion. We can figure everything out over there.
Healing exists in cutscenes? What is this? The game someone actually gave any thought? Oh, man. That's a thing. It definitely hews to genre conventions more often than not, but I think the
Yes, you
overall
did, I'm
arc
afraid.
of the plot,
It
the
was a terrible
details and
experience.
cutscenes, are generally more thought out than you would expect from the
Wow.
time period.
I can't remember a thing. You're telling me I had Bosman build that altar for me?
Yep, it was about 2 weeks ago that you sent me the order. And now that I think about it, that was around the time I started to notice you acting strangely. Like you were in your own little world or something.
Yeah, they tried in FF5.
It must have
Emphasis
been
tried.
That stone. Whatever power that stone's emitting was enough to mentally transform you.
So, yeah. Our man
I think
Alan
you're
here
right about that. The first time I saw that stone, it was like something swelled up inside my head.
So
I
yeah,
felt
if you're
like I
putting the
could
pieces
literally do
together,
no wrong.
he somehow
But I
got a
was
chunk of
right,
the sorcery
and
globe, and
everyone
that's
else was to do my bidding.
what we...
I don't remember much after that, but I don't think I'll ever be able to forget what it felt like at that single moment.
What we dealt with here is basically the sorcery globe in miniatures. This is basically... Stuff like this is basically happening all over the world.
Alan.
Reyna, I'm sorry. I know I was unconscious during that time, but I feel terrible for doing those things to you.
Yeah, back to the childhood friend
Don't
box
feel
for you,
bad,
buddy.
Alan. Besides, you're back to normal, and I know the real Alan would never do anything like that.
Thank you.
We better hurry back to Arlia. Your mom's worried about you, Reyna.
Yeah.
I need to go explain what happened to everyone in Salva. Hopefully they'll be understanding.
Alright, we're going to do one more time jump here to show off a bit more of the features of this game. But basically, yeah, everybody's happy that she's back. And after a long conversation, they agree to travel together for reasons, let's say. Yeah, we're going to jump ahead to actual gameplay here. But yeah, we're going to do another time jump here, and this one's a little bit more context-free, but I need to show something very important. What if I told you that Claude and Rena do not have to be space boyfriend and space girlfriend? That despite being the obligatory anime couple, their relationship is not set in stone and they can freely pair off with other people. I'll elaborate in a second, but just keep that in mind as we switch tracks here. So, yeah, at this point, we got a temporary party member along for the ride, Celine here, our obligatory treasure hunter with purple hair, who very definitely did not inform my taste in women back in 1998, but we're looking for treasure in this cave that may or may not be related to our broader goal. Now, she's a bit dodgy herself, but she's a hot witch with purple hair, so my hands are kind of tied here. Let's get cracking.
Seems like a fight is in order. Be careful!
So yeah, now we're getting into some proper gameplay here. Everybody's leveled up and has a good selection of spells and offensive abilities. We've actually done a little bit of power leveling here. Like, there are fewer plot barriers to exploring the world than you would expect. We actually went to a dungeon we aren't supposed to go to yet for like another 10 hours, and it's very difficult to survive an encounter there, but if you do, you can freely grind on there and buy equipment that you're not really meant to have yet, and be at a level you're not really supposed to be at yet. So everything in here is going to die really quickly. And that's part of this game's secret genius, is that it kind of wants you to break it. There are things you can do in the first act that get you equipment that will outpower anything you find in the later in the game. Now, you have to kind of know where they are, but there are ways to trivialize the difficulty you find later on if you're willing to apply yourself early. And I respect the game for that. Like, you can straight up go to towns that you won't be visiting until close to the second act, or later on, and the only plot gates are ones that would make sense, like ferry will be out, or someone isn't giving you authorization and such. But if there's a town on the continent you're on, you can just walk up to there anytime you like, as long as you can survive the journey.
There's no way around. We can win this.
There's not like sequence breaking or anything, but the game very much encourages you to explore and get out there and kind of find,
Easier than I thought.
and you know, get a feel for the place, telling you where to go next. In fact, you can see at the bottom here, you'll get input from your party about what your actual goal is next, but it's not forcing you to go strictly A to B to C. You can go to the next plot point whenever you're ready.
There's no way around it.
Better be careful.
Yeah, interesting detail here. Her sprite gives her more white hair. The official artwork is more purple.
I'd say that was
It's
glad everyone's safe.
interesting, and I get the feeling that there's... I think you saw that at a... you see that from time to time where the official artwork doesn't necessarily match up with the model artwork. I think Final Fantasy VI is one of the more famous cases of this. Like, depending on the artwork, Terra either had, like, green hair or blonde hair.
I'm glad everyone's safe.
But overall, I like her design, and I like her as a character. She's got a sassy edge to her, but she's also legitimately kind of, like, shifty and kind of... It's hard to get to the real her But there is a real her underneath all that that does actually have things she cares about, but most of her relationships are all business like that.
That's one for us.
Like, she has the obligatory look going for her, but she's also legitimately kind of dodgy. You find her in a heated argument with another mage over the map to the treasure you're now going to, and she kind of tricks you into going there by saying it might be related to what we're doing. We're going to find out it very much isn't. But we do get treasure out of the deal, so it's not a total loss, and she's not a bad person by any means. She's just a treasure hunter with all that implies. Alright, so over here I think these two guys should link up, and we'll see what happens when you fight one right after the other.
We can win this. The enemy is hope.
So they don't directly join in, but yeah, enemy link occurs when multiple enemy symbols are connected in a straight line. There can be up to 5 consecutive battles. The more consecutive battles, the greater the bonus. So we're going to get a lot more XP and money out of these things just because we got 2 of them together. So it's incentivizing you to take risks in a good way. So yeah, we go right to the next battle. So yeah, you saw up in there bottom, we get at the top corner, we get a 50% bonus.
I'd say that was 8 out of 10.
Alright. Nice chunk of change in XP there. And here's another cool thing. If you've been paying attention to the hotkeys, you've made a notice something about their positioning. I've been controlling the game this entire time with one hand. Now go ahead and get the obvious jokes out of your system. I'll wait. Celine in the party definitely makes that easier, I'll freely admit. But when's the last time you even heard of a game doing that? Like, imagine if you busted your hand one day, broke a finger, got real bad carpal tunnel or something. Really think about how limiting that would be while it healed up, and what kind of games you suddenly couldn't play. I'm not saying every game should simplify its control scheme to that extent, obviously not all of them can, but I find it really cool when one of them actually does have a relatively concise control scheme without actually simplifying the gameplay. This is all on the left side of the keyboard. I can play with my left and sip with my right. Also, where's the way down? Oh, right. I think I gotta jump from where those 2 guys were. Yeah, here we go. I overlooked this. So we jump on down. Let's see if we can link these 2 up. You, over here. Hey, dumb fuck, I'm talking to you. Damn it.
Behind us!
Ah, we got back attacked. Damn it, there goes our bonus. I got cocky. Yep. Hey! Hands off my space waifu. Her mom might not be available, but damn it, I'm gonna get as much of that cooking as I can. Alternate configuration for Warframe that lets me play most of the game with one hand. Nice! Yeah, see, I appreciate when games do that. Like, I think, yeah, you should be able... In nearly all cases, you should be able to rebind keys as you need to. But when they make special accommodations... When they make special accommodations like that, I find it impressive, and it represents a design ethos that... It represents an ethos that prioritizes accessibility, that wants people to play the game, that isn't trying to make things too complicated to enjoy.
Seems like a fight is in order.
So yeah, you've noticed by now that the battle is largely automated for your party members, and you control who you select who you want to control. If you want to switch party members, you certainly can. If you want to stop and select individual spells, there's basically, you have 2 keybinds for whatever you want to use actively, but if you want to select the one that's not on the bind, you can freely stop the, you can pause the game and take time to make tactical decisions and such. And you can also adjust party AI so that they're prioritize different things. Like if you want to spread them out and have everybody target different things, if you want to focus on stun locking the enemy, individual characters can preserve their MP. You may have noticed that we get HP and MP back after every fight, so if you're running dry, a valid tactic is to have everybody conserve their attacks and just mow through random encounters while you recover. Just a lot of top-to-bottom smart decisions, some of which were present in the original game, and some of which have been added in the re-release. But overall, this game is it's about as approachable as you can get for a game released in 1998 that got updated for 2023. Hey, Robo, good to see ya! We'll be wrapping up shortly, but glad to have you here. How's it going tonight? So yeah, map says there's supposed to be a treasure room up ahead. You think that's a fake? No, it couldn't be. By the way, Rena. Yes? You can use healing spells, right? How do those work? So the other fun little thing about Celine's character is she's knowledgeable, but she's not all knowledgeable. There are things about her profession that sometimes catch her by surprise, too. Like, Rena's healing magic is a genuine anomaly, even in the world of magic, and that tends to catch other people by surprise. So they are very stock in terms of characterization, but there is a good degree of nuance, and they're put in situations where they have to respond to out-of-context problems. Just finished up your schedule, gonna finish your schedule, gonna finish up Brainlord on Thursday, as well as Road to Fraternity 2 thing. Nice, nice. Should we search for another path? I suppose we'll have to. Celine, would you mind if I had a look at that map? Isn't there something written here? It's kind of small, but I think it's talking about spells or something. You're right, it's pretty faded, but it's definitely there. Why don't we do what it says then? Might as well give it a shot. And presto. Treasure door open. Passageway. See, just try stuff randomly. Adventure games have taught me well. We did it! Let's go. Alright. Actually, let's step on the recharge pad here. Here we go. I do like the little text pop-ups they have. What the? This treasure chest is empty. Uh-oh. We got a boss fight coming in. But this time, we're prepared.
Seems like a fight is in order.
Actually, Celine, why don't you blast that one? I'll focus on this guy.
Thanks for that.
Hey, hey! There we go. Piece of cake. Good job,
They
team.
were just way too weak.
The power!
Alright.
Ooh, great!
Now, there's an important detail coming up I want you to pay attention to. We'll get through the rest of this looting here. Let's see, what's this? Ah, yes, another observable location. Massive deposits of pyroxene, undisturbed since time immemorial. Treasure hunter set, blah, 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 whatever. So yeah, we actually got XP out of combat. You can actually level up from this as well. Another nice little addition that kind of encourages you to explore, look around, and do things just because they reward you. You actually get quests at this Adventurers Guild, and when you turn in items and such, you get more ability points that you can use to upgrade your...
Bingo! Here it is.
Upgrade your combat and personal skills.
This is it?
Yep, thank you. Drink time.
What is that thing?
Some kind of ancient text. Not that I can read it or anything, though.
How sad. This is beyond my deciphering ability. I guess we have no choice but to take this back to my home and consult with the Elder.
Well, that or find a linguist. Otherwise, we've hit a dead end.
Very true.
Alright. So here's something the remake, or the re-release added. I'm not sure what to make of this yet. So, mysterious power in the jewel recalls the memory of Star Ocean. Letitia, the protagonist of Star Ocean 6, has joined the assault. So, apparently there are characters you can summon as assist characters in battle, and that are kind of spread out throughout the franchise. Not in the battle party to aid in combat, summon during attacks to increase combo length, blah blah blah. Assault gauge fills over time. Basically, it's just another fun thing you can do, and I'm assuming they've got characters from elsewhere in the series as well. I haven't actually experimented with that much. I'll have to see how that plays out. But the far more interesting feature, the one I am referring to, we will see when we exit the cave.
You two have been a lot of help to me, so let me thank you both.
Oh, you don't have to.
Our little expedition didn't turn up anything on the sorcery globe, though.
This is new. So it was the sorcery globe that you two have been fussing about.
That's right. And that's why we wanted to travel to the El Kingdom.
Yeah, I like Celine. She's one of my favorite characters in the game.
Say, would you like to
Surprisingly,
join us, Celine?
not just because of the design.
Claude?
Well, I just thought that your symbology could be a real asset to us on the trail.
Those help,
I
granted.
could certainly give it some thought.
But honestly, there are some really fun characters later on in the game. I will describe one in a
Certainly.
minute.
As in whether or not the pretty lady over there is okay with it, of course.
So yeah, we have the option. We don't have to recruit people. In fact, we don't have room for all the people we can recruit. The game's playable cast is a veritable fun bus of 13 fucking people, and you need to make decisions. Some characters are mutually exclusive, some are only available to Claude Arena, some require you get someone else first. Like, this is a really cool feature, and I'm annoyed that more games don't do this. Anyway, of course we're gonna have her travel with us.
Oh, I'm sure Reyna wouldn't have any problem. We'd be happy to have you along. Right, Reyna?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I think I will take you up on the offer.
Alrighty, Roo.
Back to our original plan, then. Our next destination is Kuruk.
And Celine has joined the party properly. Outstanding. So yeah, now we have friendship levels with all three of them. Rena sounds less than thrilled. Oh, just wait, Mirage. But yeah, we don't have to, again, we don't have to pair Claude and Rena together. We can basically pair off any one of those 13, well, the maximum party size is 8, but they can be paired off in any number of combinations, including ones you wouldn't expect. Like, there's a character later on that is also not from this world. She's basically a hot three-eyed alien with a big fucking gun. She arrived here in a cocktail dress. She's explicitly looking for her boyfriend. She can be paired off with other people, and the boyfriend she's looking for is also a playable character. He can be paired off with someone. Imagine that. You can pick your bestie in this game, and the story will acknowledge that later on. That's just fucking cool. There's like 100 different ending slides that play out differently depending on who you paired off, and it's such a fun little feature, and it's a big part of this game's replayability to me. So yeah, you combine that with very few plot gates to exploring the world, a party you can kind of put together at your leisure, a very good port job, a smorgasbord of party skills with practical effects, many chances to break the game's difficulty by power leveling in areas you weren't meant to go yet. There are times you can just chill out in town chatting with people. In fact, hang on, I'm going to demonstrate this feature real quick before we go back. Let us go to Cross. This is another thing I think more RPGs need to do. Just, you push a button, your party breaks, and just goes and does their own thing. And you'll find them throughout town, and they'll have little scenes. Some of them will affect your relationship with them depending on how you answer. Some will be just flavor stuff. You'll see them buying stuff. This is such a fun thing that adds a lot of life to the characters, and it makes them feel like they're doing stuff separate from what you're doing. So yeah, we see Rena and Celine here. What are those two talking about? So yeah, we can join in on the conversation, secretly listen on the conversation, or leave. Let's listen in, obviously. Don't let them see me, don't let them see me. You absolutely do, Kirby. Listen, I know what you're getting at here, Celine. You're trying to say that Claude isn't very reliable, are you? Oh, secret's out. Something like that, yes. I know you've been on all sorts of adventures in your time, so compared to you, then yes, I'm sure he's not very experienced at all. You know, I would think twice about throwing him right into the thick of battle. So what should we do? Not asking him to do anything. I just think that we need to help him for the time being. Support him. Give him something to fall back on. Claude's trying his best out there, you know? Are you saying he should just quit? No, I'm saying he should, like, take up fishing or something. That's what she thinks about me. I guess there's no help in that, but... Yeah, it's hard being the hero, but you do what you gotta do. But yeah, we'll wrap it up there. I think you get the basic idea. But, larger point, this game fucks. This game fucked in 1998, and 25 years later, it fucks even harder. I'm really glad they made this. Like, I feel like this successfully updates the things that need updating, while preserving the essence of what made this game special. There's a lot to like here. I cannot say enough good things about it. If you're at all interested in just having a solid JRPG with a ton of flexibility to its progression, get it right now. It is a fantastic game, it's a fantastic update, and I'm really hoping that the first game gets basically the same treatment. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Have a good night. We will be finishing up Baldur's Gate 3. Well, no, we will be resuming with Baldur's Gate 3 on Saturday. I'll be putting the poll up for the next game to play to completion. But until then, have a good night, and see you next time.